We're now within about 3 hours of knowing who will be the Waterloo champion for 1986. Great excitement and anticipation around this famous green, because this afternoon it is the semi-final stages. The last 4 players from an initial entry list, remember, of 2,048. Such is the competition for the Waterloo. Let's have a look then at how the semi-finalists got there from the quarter-finals. In the first match we saw, Brian Duncan beat John Bancroft 21-16. And it was Alan Ward, the local man. He beat Steve Nixon 21-9. The next game, Alan Ward 21-13 victor over Peter Bound. Peter Fielding beat Jeff Sykes 21-13. And in the final of the last of the quarter-finals, a great game, Jeff Sykes 21 against Alan Shacklady 10. Well, Noel, the first person we're going to see in action, obviously, this afternoon is Brian Duncan, who'll be playing Alan Ward. Now, Brian must be thinking now that perhaps his name is on the trophy again.
Yes, he'll not be overconfident, though. Play within himself and not sort of make any mistakes at this stage. I'm sure he's really keyed up now, and he knows what he's got to do. And I can't see anyone stopping the Duncan Express steaming on to take the trophy at the end of the day.
Well, there's Brian there at the side of the green, and he's looking fairly relaxed, although I don't suppose that really displays his true emotions, does it?
He's that type of man. He doesn't show a lot of emotion. Maybe after he's lifted the trophy at 5 o'clock this evening, then he might let loose a little bit this evening, but he's a really first-class player and very experienced and knows what he has to do.
And what about his opponent, Alan Ward, who's there with him? Alan Ward seemed terribly relaxed, the local
That's
man.
Right. Well, he's got this far. All his supporters are pleased to see him get here, and he's just bubbling with just the thrill of being in this final day. Yeah. Whether he's good enough to actually beat Brian Duncan, I don't know. He'll have to play on top of his form.
You tend to think, though, don't you, that to have the class of a real Waterloo final, there needs to be a player like Brian Duncan in it.
Yes, but even the Waterloo has produced some of the most thrilling climaxes to any competition, with possibly little-known bowlers. It has happened in the past, and it is only a game of 16 up. Anyone can put 16 shorts together in a fairly short space of time.
Yes, it is a bit of a sprint, isn't
That's
it?
right.
Having said that,
yes, the best players only have to be a fraction off form, and out they go.
Yeah. And of course, then in the second semi-final, we'll be seeing Peter Fielding against Jeff Sykes. Jeff Sykes representing Yorkshire, and Yorkshiremen not too successful here over the years.
No, I spoke to Jeff during the lunchtime break, and I just feel he's got a quiet confidence about him. Very assured nature of the man.
But Peter Fielding, of course, is a very cool and confident customer, isn't he?
He's been very steady. It's a big battle again, Greater Manchester against Yorkshire.
Can I ask you who you would place in the final of those 4? Give us 2 names.
Well, I've got to go for Brian Duncan and Jeff Sykes, even though I would like to see Peter Fielding through as a Greater Manchester man myself. I've just got that sneaking feeling that it'll be Jeff Sykes against Brian Duncan.
Well, that's a fair and confident forecast. I'm sure that would make as fitting a final as we could expect to see at the Waterloo. But now we're just about ready to begin the first of the semi-finals. And the people that we'll be seeing in these semi-finals, of course, we've mentioned greatly there, Brian Duncan, a marvellous champion in Crown Green bowling, age 42, Railway Hotel, Lostock Hall near Preston. Best performance as well, he's won Top Crown, and he's a former Waterloo winner. That was in 1979. His opponent, a relative unknown, I suppose, compared to Brian Duncan. Alan Ward is 42 years old, the Carlton Club. The best performances, the Empire Services finalist. So a contrast in the records of those 2 players. We'll see how they shape up in the first semi-final this afternoon. Brian Duncan versus Alan Ward. We join Harry Rigby for the commentary.
Lovely crowd, all experts, settle down now for this afternoon session of the semi-finals and final stage of the Waterloo Handicap. Well, they've had a great morning, seen some terrific bowling. Betting now closed up tight on Duncan. Now a red-hot favourite, and there's Duncan in the light blue in the centre, and on the extreme right of the picture is his opponent, Alan Ward, the Blackpool Hope. crowd appreciating that now. Just a nice show of warm appreciation of what's in store. Ward very comfortable on this green, but Duncan is so powerful a player in the corners that he's likely to get in early and put Ward on the way out of the sweep. But 5 across. Duncan setting the mark in this first of the 2 semi-finals. Red disc, Brian Duncan now. Chance, wins it. Might throw one at this, Duncan. He's asking for information. He's going to fire. There she goes, cuts it out clean. Oh, through the lot, and was very nearly close to hitting his own back ball.
First blood then to Alan Ward, counting a single at that end, a man who has consistently enjoyed himself throughout this competition, the local man.
A little bit overplayed. Again, Duncan asking for advice. He wants it quickly so that he can make his mind up to play at the end. Nearly won it clear running. Runs on a little more. Into the ball and making it. Another one to Ward. I think, Noel, this is the first time in the last 3 sessions that Duncan has been behind after the first 2 ends. He's always counted the first end. He did it again, Bancroft.
That's right. He, well, obviously winning the toss is of quite a bit of importance to Brian. He gets on to the area of the green that he wants to play on. As it is, he's lost the toss, and Alan Ward is straight away to the part he prefers. Short, and Ward led a good ball. Duncan not yet struck a length. Ward under no sort of pressure, enjoying the game. Knows he's playing the red-hot favourite, Duncan. But he plays here at the Waterloo Hotel, and he's very, very happy with the surroundings and the green, although I don't think he's experienced anything quite like this before. In forms of the crowd and shouting and atmosphere. Found one of it, runs. Oh, he's run into it again.
One to Duncan.
The first victory for Brian Duncan in this semi-final match, single. 7-6 in favour of Alan Ward at the moment.
Good ball, roundabout. Ward's down. Nice style. Certainly gets after the ball. Wants to be with it. Shouting it on. Got to run a bit more. Dying short. Get punished for that short bowling. Licked the jack and gone by, but it counts another. Ward has got to reach. If he starts playing short balls, he's going to go a few in arrears. Duncan will leave him for dead. Got to get up to the end. Through the gap. Sat on the back ball and counted the end.
Yes, that was well played by Alan Ward, because Brian Duncan was manoeuvring himself into a position there where he would have got onto his favourite mark, cutting the green across diagonally. Alan Ward stopped him doing that. Counted one as well. 8-6.
Can't be a bad ball, this. Lovely pace. Dead length. If he just squeezes a few more in, Noel, early doors, you know, he opens a bit of a gap, but Duncan sat it out. He's done it again.
When you're playing well, Harry, you get those little rubs. I mean, that could have easily gone through the gap or slid by, and it would have gone 2-3 yards past the jack.
What a difference it makes. And Ward thinking maybe about building a lead up of 1 or 2. Oh, unlucky ball.
That's the difference, Harry. He's found the gap.
Just brushes the jack even there. It would have checked the ball and he'd have had 2 guns. And now Duncan, no mistakes. Beautiful ball.
There again, you notice Brian's never short when the other man's in. Always up to it. You've no chance with a short ball, but anything can happen if you're far enough.
Bit of a nod there from Duncan. He's not really happy with that ball. It looks a fairly good ball from where we are. Dead level at 2.5 foot. One here with a squeak, but he might just go through. Won it. certainly far enough. Gone out. Coming down the hill now, it's swing over just into the right. Ward on his way to see what rewards are waiting for him. Certainly one. I think that's all he's got. Again, all noticing that Ward has just come out of that corner now and come across, almost across the middle of the green.
That's right, he's tried twice to get on his favourite piece of land, and Brian's counted the end, so he's now trying something different.
Won it. Can't lose. Good ball. Alan Ward from Bolton. Blackpool. It's got to be far enough. Well up to the jack. The crowd have already written it off as a disaster ball, not on the road. Duncan now certainly try and fill in here for a double. Two. That's where he really punishes them, Noel, on those ends.
Alan's played a little bit of a wild ball there. Obviously he was trying to play Brian Duncan's ball out, but it was way off line, much too far. Brian takes full advantage. This is where games are won and lost, Harry, making the twos.
Yeah, always fills it in, doesn't he? You can't give him any room. Had a chance both times he stepped in and made a second ball count, but he's just played an absolute wayward ball there for Duncan. Wouldn't believe that he could send that one far away. Won it. That's a fair way over. Even the back ball that's just below the jack. About 4, possibly 5 foot away. Missed it. Missed the road altogether.
I'm surprised actually Brian going down to that corner finger peg. More often than not he will go thumb peg into that corner. Why he's gone finger I don't know, and he's played 2 atrocious balls. Possibly let Alan Ward in for 2.
Yes, Christmas it was, gift week.
That's right.
Let him have a double there, Duncan. It's a good job it wasn't 19 all, Noel.
Well, he'd be walking off looking pretty sick right now. Just shows you, even the best players can come unstuck at times, Harry.
Yeah, that's what makes balls so interesting. It's the unpredictability of the game that keeps it on the boil. Everybody thinks it's easy and it isn't. Ward's just played one a fair way past the jack. Duncan counted 2 at the end last time he played on this mark, and he's played another one that's just won it. It's got to run and hold its head up. And again. Got a chance of a double here, Duncan. On his way up to the end. Ward picking one, kicking the other end. It's conceded the end. 2 to Duncan.
Neither player yet able to establish anything like a decent lead. 12-11. Brian Duncan leads. Single chalk. Contrast to Brian Duncan's quarter-final game when he absolutely sailed away with it in the beginning.
Beautiful road, that ball, but it died all the way down the hill. It just lacked that bit of pace to get it rolling, and it's died short. Duncan again coming in on the bottom side to whip round, certainly far enough. Gone out.
Alan Ward's a good opportunity here. Just needs to nudge his own ball. The 6 inches will do the trick.
Far enough this time. Hits his own ball. Duncan wants it up in the air because he knows it'll go out. Not happy with the lead, Duncan. Come back, shaking his head because he knows he's 3.5, 4 foot short of the jack. Ward not being rushed, just enjoying the match. Always on the top side. Still going, finish up a good ball this. Can't lose. Oh, cracking ball there from Ward. Just stop the rot. Now 12 to Ward and 13 to Duncan. Duncan pegging a double there could have opened up a fair-sized gap, which could have spelt the end for Alan Ward, but he produced a really good ball. just a little bit short from hand. He's got it on the top there, but it's just rolling a little bit. It would have gone in. No farther, not licked it. Just reach up and pass his short ball here. Put a couple of foot in the ball, it'll go down.
You have to be careful, Harry. If he just puts that extra in, it could hang back and cannon into Brian Duncan's short ball, possibly knock it in.
Go now. Ooh, there's one here that's doing the trip, and no, don't hit that ball. Just can't win with it. Might even get a double. Well, they're well spread out. Duncan is one down. Certainly got to have a look. He's taken out the winner. They're asking for the string man.
Right. Thank you. First wood measured.
One only to Ward.
Single there for Alan Ward, keeps it nicely balanced at 13 across. And this is the first of the day's semi-finals.
Leave it, Alan, leave it.
And a goodish lead from Ward, that's close enough.
Bit of a buzz. Just gone by. Looked as though he might drop down and just carry the jack through, but it went too far. I think he's giving Brian just a little bit of trouble on these marks, doesn't he? No.
Struggling slightly for length, Brian, but there, again, he's far enough and in a good position to capitalise with his second ball.
One in, one out. One to Ward.
So Alan Ward eases back in front just by that single chalk, 14 to 13.
Now we're coming to the nitty-gritty of this game, Noel, aren't we? Into the final stages, really, the last run in.
That's right.
21 up. Ward wants 7 and Duncan wants 8.
To his credit, Alan Ward's kept Brian Duncan away from his favourite corner. He's not had one end yet on his favourite corners.
And all credit to Ward, because he has pulled out some really good balls under pressure, hasn't he? As Duncan's come in and licked his leads, and he's found some good second balls. Found one. Goes out missing all. Through the gap. Oh! Touched the ball and went through. Now then.
That was cruel, that, Harry. Absolutely cruel. Perfect ball, and not what's happened.
The referee just having a quiet word there with Alan Ward. He's firing after his ball, he's running. Don't think he's getting near enough. It's got made two. Oh, he's dropped the jack. Only one. Brilliant ball there from Duncan. Again, could have made two, but got half a loaf.
Now's the chance for Brian Duncan at 14 across to get off into the corners where he wants to be.
Ward just going out there to square leg boundary to have a look, and he can see the jack. There's a couple of punters there. I don't know whether they're in pocket or out of pocket, but they certainly look quite happy.
Look like Alan Thompson behind those sunglasses.
Won it. Great ball. Oh, problems there for Duncan now because he's almost in his own way. Got to be far enough. Doing the trip, there's nearly won it back. Won it back, hits the block. Just gone out on the bottom side.
You know, you think they're on the road there, Harry, and all of a sudden at the last moment they just dip away. It's really frustrating at times.
He slipped in the bottom there with no peg, carried on and went 4 foot past the jack. And now Ward, having pulled out a real humbug of a ball there, trickled it past Duncan's 2.5 foot lead. There's gone. Pace is right. He might just die. Duncan thinks it's going to die, but he might sneak another. If it runs another half a roll, it's give up. Another ball there on a marvellous road. Duncan thinks it's tight. Thinks it's tight, and in the bottom side it's going now. It's in the bottom, missed the road altogether. Bad lead. Still runs on. It could finish up a good ball at dead length. Now Ward's got to do another repeat act here and make this second ball count. Better road, but flying. Flying. Got to hit the jack. Hits the jack, he'll be all right. Gone out. What a time to know for him to pick, to make a bad lead and then follow it up with another wayward ball. Duncan's in for the usual bonus 2.
That's right, possibly Alan Ward has been so exuberant all day, and all of a sudden maybe he's just had the scent of victory in his nostrils, and maybe it's just got to him slightly. He's played too Uncharacteristically bad balls.
Pretty close that now, Duncan. He knows he's got to get away from this lad Ward. He's had a lot of opposition from this Blackpool man who's played really well. The game's finally poised. Duncan doesn't want any slip-ups now. Give up. As bright as Duncan there. He's just gone into the crowd. He looks as though he went out in the first round. Here he is in the semi-finals, favourite to win the sweep. But that's the way he is, Brian. It's very serious about his balls. Debating here what ball to play. Certainly got to be far enough, playing up to the end. Oh, they think he's chucked it away.
Definitely
it's
got it away
all
but
the time. It's got to nearly make him two. Can't win now on the bottom.
touch of nerves possibly there for Mellon. He got that ball away badly. Certainly wobbled away from his hand.
I think he got caught in two minds there, Noel. He stood too long on the mat, weighing up the pros and cons. I think he considered coming in the other peg and trying to cut the ball away from the jack. And all of a sudden he played it with a, you know, I should do this and I'm going to do that attitude. I think
when you go back to the mat, you pick your ball up, you should know what you're going to do. If you're in two minds, then...
He's on a smacking road. All he's got to do is stop a length. Can't lose. Hits the jack, bang on, won it. Oh, the crowd there really appreciating that. Full applause. He's 2 chalks in arrears, Ward. 15 to Duncan 17. The game now running into its closing stages and it's going to be rough going here. Can't come on the bottom. Ward got a chance here to level the match at 17 apiece. He's counting one. Get up. Get up and run. Run for your life. And again, as hard as you can. You'll have to kick it, I think, to get it there. Oh, only one. Well, Noel, he had a bit of a chance there, didn't he, to square the match and a couple of ends off victory. You know, how vital it is that.
That's right, a glorious opportunity there to level the scores at 17 each. Taking his time though, thinking about this game, not being rushed.
Well, he's back along this mark again. He's been here before. Every time he's been here, Duncan's counted the end. 2. When he's made bad leads, 2. He's looking for a lead again. A roundabout, not too near. Well beatable. Trying to catch Duncan out on a length. Oh, his pace. Pace is right. Won it. Slipped up there, Ward. He's just had a bit of a practice dummy run there to make sure that he still knows how to send them. He's only 1 chalk in arrears. But Duncan now lies on. Give it a squeak. It's got a squeak there, so if it stops. Won it back. Another good second ball there from Ward. He's never faltered on improving where he's had to beat a fair ball of Duncan's. And Duncan struck. He's trying to get it out. Bye-bye. Beautiful. Oh, did that almost nonchalantly, Duncan. Just cocked his hand in the air as though it couldn't miss anywhere. Just put it on the card. Wonderful strike. Done with a minimum of fuss and a maximum of efficiency there. Must have looked about 8 foot wide, that ball to Duncan.
No, he doesn't miss many of those.
Well, I think that hit was the turning point there, Noel. You know, I know there's not much in the game, 2 in it, but at that stage it would have been 17 across and Ward to lead the jack.
That's right. The advantage now is in Graham's court.
Finish roundabout, a little bit farther away than it looks. There's Alan Ward, takes his time, won't be rushed. Really after the ball. Bit of a chance this. He's got to run down the hill now and just break back a little bit. It wins it, this, no doubt. That's won it. Just won't be put out of his stride, this lad, no, will he? He's played well all through the game.
That's right.
Can't lose. Brilliant ball. Really sparking a bit now, Duncan. And a really cracking drive there that took the ball out, then has just licked a 2-foot wood.
That's right, he's got an uncanny knack of breaking your heart, end after end.
Down again, Ward. He's got to do it all over again. I think you'd get a terrific cheer. Listen to the crowd here. They think it's got a bit of a chance, this ball. I think it's got a bit of a chance. He's on the top side. He's going out unless he knocks his own in. Oh, he's trying to turn it over, but Duncan's already signalled to the markers. Terrific effort there from Alan Ward. He's still having a look at the end, even though Duncan signalled 1. Now it's all over, 1 to Duncan. Now Duncan wants 2 for game. Made a good lead. This has been quite a match, Noel, hasn't it? You know, that Ward has stuck to it, and he's almost been in a situation where he could have actually nicked the game. But Duncan keeps pulling out these.
Well, he's made Brian alter his tactics, get away from his normal mark as he plays so well. Then Brian always comes with that ball that, as I say, just breaks your heart at a crucial moment.
Tired. Stands to lie game. He's after this, Duncan. He thinks it's got a bit of a chance of going in the frame. Yes, two alike. He's got them to beat. Toucher, and what about 2 foot? There's a man that's had a few quid on Duncan, obviously. Absolutely delighted. Nice.
This is it, Harry. Can Alan Ward save the game here?
Well, it's running. It's running. Certainly far enough. Nearly pull one out of the bag here, I'll tell you that. Nearly done it. Ooh. Duncan's looking, he thinks it's game, he's signalled two, it's gone out. They're shaking hands. A brilliant effort there from Alan Ward, just not quite enough. But Duncan's really had to pull a few good balls out in that game to get rid of this Blackpool man. Yeah, now Brian Duncan is certainly red-hot favourite to pick this title up. He moves into the final after beating Alan Ward 21-16 in the first semi-final of the Waterloo Handicap.
Alan Ward's given his best there, just not quite good enough on the day.
Well done, Brian. Place in the final again after so long, eh?
Well, it was very nice. It was a very difficult game, and I'm just scrambled home at the finish. I'm very thankful about that, really.
Was it a little harder game than you actually expected?
Well, not really, no. I mean, Alan's played very well on the green, and they're all very hard games. And if you just, I mean, they can all play in the last 16. It's just a matter who plays on the day.
Could the turning point have been the strike that you made, the successful one that made it 18-16 to you? Yeah?
Well, it made a big difference, that, because it gave me a chance to go in the corners, like, where Alan would have been 17 apiece and leaving the block across the centre of the green, which he was playing very well.
Yes, we noticed that quite clearly, that you were struggling early in the game because Alan was keeping you away from the corner marks, wasn't he?
Well, he was, actually. I got in once or twice across the centre of the green to go in the corner, but I couldn't make a lead in the corner to have a run in the corners, and unfortunately, that was where the game was going.
Right, Alan, I suppose you'll say that you've enjoyed it.
Yes, well, I did, but I'd have enjoyed it a lot more if I'd have won. Brian played well. I just wasn't making a good enough lead. What are you doing in the final? I had my chances. There was once or twice and I should have coupled up and made two, but I didn't. But he played better than me, so I can't complain.
Well, ultimately, though, I imagine you were quite pleased with the way that it was going early on.
Yeah, I was. Well, I felt that even towards the end I had a good chance. 19-16, I just needed 2 2s and a 1, which is sort of 3 ends, and that can be game. So if you think positive, you know, that way, then you have a good chance of winning. But Brian played well, and he put me under pressure the last end by having that good ball up, which forced me to reach up, and I just sort of trickled out and left him too. So it's just one of those things.
Right, Brian. So what about the nerves, the confidence for the final now?
Well, I'm not. Well, I mean, it's just a matter. It's just how you play on the day, and hopefully, if I can just make a few leads and get going in the corners, I'm quite confident.
Have you any preferences for who you'd like to meet in the final?
I'm not bothered, actually. I'd rather meet somebody who's lost in the first round, but that's beside the point.
How does this, if you cast your mind back, compare with 79 and the road to the final? Can you remember?
Well, the semi-final, I remember I think the last 8 in the semi-final, I think I won very easy, and the final was, I think, 21-19. It was a hell of a game with Alan Broadus, and that could have gone either way, but I just scrambled home.
So fingers crossed for you.
Well, I hope so. If I play all right, I'll be quite happy. It's just if I can get a few leads together and get going in the corners, I'll be quite happy.
What about the crowd? Are you taking any notice, or is that just blotted out while you're
Well, actually, I think the crowd's 50-50. I thought going on possibly more might have been for Alan. We've been a local player, like, but I think it's about 50-50, and they're very appreciative, and there's no cat calls or anything. Very nice.
Good. Congratulations. We'll look for you in the final, obviously, and let's have confirmation of that first semi-final here this afternoon. The winner, Brian Duncan, playing Alan Ward. The score, 21-16. And the second semi-final that we'll be seeing here at the Waterloo this afternoon, Peter Fielding. Peter Fielding, the boy from Rochdale, who had a great win against Roy Armstrong in the quarter-finals. His opponent in this second semi-final is the Yorkshire representative, Jeff Sykes, the man from Murfield. It's near Huddersfield in West Yorkshire. So that there is a chance that one of those rare occurrences will happen, and that is that a Yorkshire player's name will go onto this trophy. But Brian Duncan's obviously got something to say about that. And so the second semi-final, Peter Fielding playing Jeff Sykes. Here's the commentary from Harry Rigby. Thanks.
Well, the second semi-final now just about to start. Duncan, the favourite, already through. And now we've got another Lancashire-Yorkshire battle. Jeff Sykes from Murfield is playing Peter Fielding from Rochdale. There's Fielding in yellow, just sorting out the starting tackle, and the referee. In the centre there is Barry Cottrell. Just getting geared up now. He's the Yorkshireman. Played really well, Sykes. Stuck at his game. Made all the Yorkshiremen happy round the green. I've met a few. Brian Armitage, Gene Barton, two of the Yorkshire county men are here, and they're all absolutely delighted that Sykes has done well enough not only to reach the semi-final, but they're confident that he's going to take the cup back over the Pennines and the Waterloo title and cash with it. Sykes wins the block. Peter Fielding and Jeff Sykes on 5 across on the card in a game of 21 up. First man to reach 21 gets a place in the final of the Waterloo. Sykes playing a reasonable ball to open out, about a yard past. Beautiful road there for Fielding, but well short. Second. And Sykes again padding up after this ball, looking for a good start. Gets another one.
Slight shake of the head there from Jeff Sykes, as if he wasn't entirely satisfied, but it's a fair start for him. It's an even better start now.
Might still have a double. Going a long way away from the end. Jeff Sykes wants a good look. Want to take the winner out in a minute. As Peter Fielding come down, thinks one to Sykes. not a good lead. 4 foot wide. Wrote it off. Well, fielding's a bit of a chance here if he can get in. Noel, he's got quite a bit of room as long as he's far enough. Might win the end. Still in the bottom. He's as low as he dare be. Come up a little bit now. Must win it. Good ball.
Well, certainly the quality of his second bowl deserved to win it for Peter Fielding. After 3 that were indifferent, to be kind to them. 6 across there.
Well short, he's got to be far enough. He'll have to run, Sykes. This won't win nothing. Short. Brought him out of the corners after going a long way, and Jeff Sykes not making the adjustments. Well short. Fielding's won't break the jack with this one either. He'll run a bit past his other, but it won't reach. Both short. But they're counting.
Somewhat difficult for Jeff Sykes possibly to get in here. If he plays it too far wide to get round his short ball, it might just not peg enough, or he could even run into it.
Might have even got the verdict there, Sykes, after that bang.
We're very fortunate if he has.
1 to Fielding. Ooh, that would have been a bit of a collision course for the Yorkshireman. That he cast off 2 balls and then almost got the verdict, but Fielding just managed to get it on the card. Not started leading, has he, Fielding, yet? Noel, of what they've done, and Sykes has played an absolute no ball here. No chance. Short.
Well, it's only the 4th end yet, Harry. Just getting used to the pace of the green again after a break of nearly 2 hours.
Yeah, but these shorts are going to be vital at the finish, aren't they, Noel? If it gets a bit tight, they'll kick each other. If they don't, you know, if they remember those ends. You can't give chalks away for nothing on this green at this stage, because he's rectified it here, Sykes, if he can run down the hill, but he might still be short. One to Fielding.
$19. You lie awake that night thinking about all the ones that you should have counted.
better pace. Better pace altogether, this. Good ball, this.
Keep off 5.
Yeah, one good un to back. Won't go near it. We're very close to going in the pit. This 1, 2, 3 off. Run away. Run away ball is coming down the hill much too slow, but it's 2.
Well, I didn't want to be too close because Jeff would have had no other option but to try and smack them both off. At least this way, stopping the strike.
I hope. Listen. Bang!
Unbelievable.
How many times have you seen that happen in a match, Noel, where you get a bloke playing?
You don't believe it?
No, it's incredible, but it happens, doesn't it? You know, where a fella says, well, I've only got to pass that ball.
That's
and
right.
And he's just done it, Jeff.
Another yard of pace and it would have swung the ball round.
He
It would
sent
have carried
that
it
anywhere
straight.
in Blackpool, couldn't he, really, to get
That's
past
right.
that short ball. He's a cricket pitch off fielding, and Jeff Sykes runs into the back of it. Oh, talk about free gift week.
That gives Peter Fielding the lead at 10-6 for Jeff Sykes.
Worst thing about playing a bad ball, Harry, is you've got 3,000 people around this green that all think they could have played it better.
And don't they let you know it, Noel? You should know that.
They sure do. He's changed his peg here, Jeff Sykes, I think. He's not getting there.
1 to Fielding.
Jeff's got to get a grip of himself here. He's played 3 very poor ends by his high standards.
Well, it's such an anticlimax for him because he played such a marvellous game, didn't he, against Alan Shacklady. You know, Shacklady, who looked really a big danger to them all, and Sykes got rid of him without much trouble, and now he's in with a chance of making the big time here and going into the final, and he's leaving them on the mat. Well, he's found one. Good ball. Short.
On the right of the picture there is Bernard Kelly, who we spoke to yesterday, the only man who's ever won the Waterloo 2 years in succession, 1953, 1954.
Remember it very well. He used to play at the Grapes at Hyde in Cheshire.
Well, that's a bit of a tonic for Jeff Sykes.
It's amazing how the game swings. One end you're elated, the next end you're down. Peter Fielding's played fairly well the last 3 ends, and then all of a sudden he plays 2 balls that he can't believe how far away he's played them. Could have kicked them nearer.
Far enough. Far enough. He'll certainly go up and past the jack. Got to run a bit more yet. It's in the bottom. Well short. Past the jack again, same as his other two alike.
Number of times, Harry, we've seen people playing finger peg down to this corner and nobody's put them anywhere near the jack.
Well, bad lapse there by Peter Fielding.
Must be very difficult though, that corner, Harry. Playing finger peg from the centre of the west stand. Nobody's played one within a yard yet.
I bet Sykes will be glad if he goes back down there, because he just played two balls at about 2.5 yards short fielding, which even though the corner's difficult, he should be up to the jack at least.
That's right. It's the old saying, never up, never in. Good old golf saying that applies to balls as well.
Asking for information. Fielding. Tipping the Yorkshire ball. And there we see the owner of it, J Sykes, playing the second wood of this end. Certainly par enough for down in the bottom, this round the back. Chance. Bit of a chance, this. Think you can get your pencil ready here. Brilliant ball.
And Peter Fielding there, after two indifferent ends, suddenly produces a magic ball.
Must be a bit reassuring for him, Noel, to know that he can still, you know, take
Well,
one out.
You wonder, can you
needs
still
one.
play the game, don't you, when you've sent a few ramblers?
Be a long way by, misses the jack. One here, far enough, but it's first. Very little over. Fielding got a really fine one. He is short. Sykes now down in with a chance to level the match. It's just two behind, 10-12. Crowd already tipping this one to go in the frame. wraps the jack, and makes a double. Fair ball. Just over a length. Crowd again tried it early, condemned it short before it had gone 15 yards. It's already written off. Gets another one. First ball this. Good one. Short again. 2 to Sykes. Nice pace, really good pace up to the jack base. Played a real brilliant ball, and it's just curled round the back of the jack. Gotta go a good way yet. Still running in the bottom, not on the road. Disappointed there, Jeff Sykes. He was trying to get a little bit more out of that ball. He wanted to counter double. Fielding, who's plays at Bursell Park at Rochdale. I hope, listen for the applause. Might just go. Jeff Sykes trying to pull it out, and he's managed it. Had the toe rope on that one, Jeff. Just thinking that ball out, and it just curled round and dropped over.
So Jeff Sykes with an appreciable lead now, 15, place 12.
Well, you think at one stage, Richard, that, you know, that Fielding was dominating this game, wasn't he? At 11-6, And all of a sudden, like Sykes has strung a nice break together and turned the match upside down.
Yes, I was thinking when the game started, if you remember, that it was Jeff Sykes who began with a very good end, and yet I thought in his previous games he'd started rather slowly and then gradually got better.
How about that for another great lead? Struck the length now on these long marks, Noel, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's really got the bit between his teeth. He's feeling that Peter Fielding's had a momentary lapse of form and is now trying to put even more pressure on him.
He banged it out again. Its pace is all right. Runs down the hill and misses the short ball. He's a little bit on the top now. Died short. Went like a train. It's through the end and misses the lot. If he touches that ball of Sykes, he'll make it. But no, it's just one to the Yorkshireman. Jeff Sykes takes him to 16-12. Everyone enjoying it. All the fancy hats and sunglasses and sunshine and good bowling. What more could you have? Here you need to back a couple of losers to make your day complete. Here's a lad who's slowly but surely working his way towards the Waterloo final. He's struck a really good length on this piece now. He's not throwing him about. Go a yard past the jack that, but it's a good ball on a difficult piece of land.
Well, this is the first game we've seen that Peter Fielding has played against somebody who's putting good leads up, putting the pressure on him.
Might go out, missing all, gone by, had a rub at the jack, looked at Sykes's ball and then toddled through. Good ball there from Fielding that came to nothing.
Yeah, when your back's against the wall, Harry, the luck deserts you as well.
I wish I could.
Yeah, and he looks right. Looks all right. Gets up the little hump. Now it'll toddle on a bit. Good ball. Done it. Ran into the jack, smack on the road. A really great ball there from Fielding. It was a real rescue job there. He banged into it, carried the jack and counted a double. The crowd really appreciating that.
That could be his saving grace.
Yes, there'll be plenty of life yet in this second semi-final by the looks of it. Peter Fielding, marvellous end to finish with there. He's on 14, 2 chalks behind Jeff Sykes.
Lovely road there by Fielding, but just that little bit short. Looks as though he was going to get in running down the hill. This one's will struggle to get. It's died.
Just a subtle little hill there. Only need to get over it and it'll trickle down to the jack.
Far enough. Far enough, this. Oh, he's nearly made him. And smack bang into Sykes' ball. He looked to have that little bit more pace in it there, Fielding, to get it down the hill. Sykes thinks he's been knocked in. He's confident that he's counting the end. Might still be a string job.
Terrible tragedy for Peter Fielding there. Possibly might have been better changing his peg there to avoid doing that.
He gave it a terrible clouch. He's turned it over 3 times. Interesting to watch this ball now from Jeff Sykes. Certainly got to play up the end. He's turned his peg. He's not having any bother with the coming round the houses. Just tired. Not happy. Fielding doesn't agree with Jeff Sykes. Jeff's confidently put his hand up.
Yeah.
Fielding's having the measure us. Fielding
1 against 2.
in yellow, and Jeff Sykes just having a bit of a talk about the end. I think Jeff was explaining to him how grateful he was that he's just knocked his ball over about 3 times and said if you can do that another 5 times, I'll be in the final.
Right, 2.
Terrible tragedy there for Peter Fielding.
Big yard short. Well, the way the luck's been going, he might bang that short ball, and he's done it again. Oh dear, dear, dear. It's another one. Was certainly won the end that, and Fielding, he can't believe it. He's knocked Sykes in the end previous and just walloped into the back of his ball at this end when he'd played a winner. Making it very, very awkward. Jeff Sykes must be happy with the situation there. He's got one on.
Needs to be careful. He could very easily promote Peter Fielding's short ball. He's turned his peg.
Turned it. But at the moment, Noel, any promoting to be done, it's Peter Fielding. He looks like Jeff Sykes' promotion manager because nothing else but knocking his balls in.
So I think Peter's got to take the ball by the horns here and have a strike at that ball. Try and take Jeff Sykes out.
Not a mile off, just gone down the bottom side. Peter Fielding just obscuring the precious trophies that they're playing for today, along with a lot of cash and prestige. Here's the Yorkshireman, and then the trophies, a Waterloo trophy and one that the winner keeps for himself. Oh, he's played a bad ball. Left it, it's a long way off. Looking for a good lead, doesn't make it. Gives Peter Fielding a bit of a chance. Is he going to bang into him again? He's not a mile away from hitting it. Just sneak past this time. Won it. Good ball. I think this might be the story of Peter's life here. He'll not forget those two hits that occurred at the later stages of this if he's unsuccessful.
That's right, but equally he'll remember some of the early ends when he was in the lead 11-6, and then for some unknown reason he couldn't find his balls.
Yeah, had a bit of a kip, didn't he? And then he woke
That's
up
right.
to find Sykes in front. Can't win anything, that. Tommy Law. Fielding definitely got a chance here if he runs. Run hard, and again. Missed the short ball. Crept again in the crypt and counted 2. Bit of a lifeline job there for Fielding. Looked as though he was going out, and all of a sudden he's counted a double now, and with a good lead at this end.
That's it, back in the game again.
Match is very much back on the market. Played one. Good ball. About 18 inches off the jack. Sykes on a good road. Really good road this. Can it peg and stop? Still going. Still going. Still going. May have gone. May have gone. The green ball. They come down and have a look at it now. Peter Fielding, the man who's fighting for his life here, come back, and he's a good judge to have a look at this end, because there's every chance that Jeff Sykes may have gone out, even though his ball looks the nearest. Very, very close.
There's a slight fancy for Peter Fielding's ball.
Well, I like it, Noel. It's the front ball. I think Jeff Sykes may have just gone half a roll too far, but oh, you can't be really definite about it, because he's played another one if it'll run another foot, but he's left it on the mat. It's a big yard short. Beautiful road.
Bit of protection though. Might just stop Jeff getting through to take the jack and make 2.
Beautiful road. Whatever happens to this, it's only a get your pencil ready ball, this, for me. I'll tell you that now. It's won it a week, this. It was really a good ball, that. And he's pegging for game. There's the crowd now. Are they going to get treated to a measure? which could result in Jeff Sykes going into the final. He's 19, counting one and having a measure for 2.
Measure the back one first. Thank you. Yep, 1 Jeff.
1 to Sykes, takes him to 20, and Peter Fielding 16. So Sykes has to do it again. Roundabout, almost level. He's following this one up because it's got some sort of a chance that he's just going to miss the ball and go out. It's on the way. Fielding's ball. It's got to be the saviour. It's on the way out here if he doesn't win. Watch. Jumped in. He's put his hand up. Sykes weighed in. Followed that one up to the jack to make sure it went out. And Jeff Sykes from Murfield Old Bank in Yorkshire has made the final of the Waterloo 1986 by beating Peter Fielding from Bursill Park, Rochdale, in the semi-final, 21-16. Off they go. Barry Cottrell, the referee, and Jeff Sykes now just putting them away. They've certainly done a good job. Not been on the losing side today. Put them back in the bag. He's really proud. Playing a long time, Jeff, in very, very good competitive fields at bowling. And now it looks as though he may be getting a real big payday. Delighted. Well, if you hear any loud noises, it could be one or two of these lads. Possibly shoot themselves because they can't get rid of Duncan. They've laid him all down the line, all kinds of prices, and now he must be something like about 1 to 3. You want to back Sykes, you can back him, but Duncan will be the hottest favourite, I think, ever in the final of this Waterloo. Here's the PPs, the persecuted punters, who keep filling them bags up every year but enjoy every minute of it. Some of them will have backed Duncan, and a lot will have backed the others. That's Tommy Alcott there, the big bulls organiser from Timperley. He certainly speculates a few bob, Tommy, in the blue shirt there, the lady just passing him.
Well, Jeff, congratulations. That was a great win. I imagine it's turned into a very big day for you, really, hasn't
Well,
it?
it has, really, yes. Really enjoyed it all the day. All the competition has been superb.
Was there any point during the play that you've been involved in, I mean, before today as well, that you just thought that you might be able to make it?
No, I don't think so. I don't think so. Never thought I'd see this stage at all.
Yeah.
I've been here several times as a spectator, but as a bowler, you know, I've always been on the terraces.
You say you've been here as a spectator. Has it really lived up to your expectations from watching things?
Superb, absolutely superb.
Not put off by the atmosphere? Or
No,
the
not really,
spectators?
no. Well, you know, you gradually do it from Saturday, Monday, Tuesday onwards, don't you? And it's pretty good. I've got quite a few Yorkshire supporters with me today as well, which help along a bit.
How does it compare with where you normally play your bowls? Tell us a little bit about that.
Oh, this is fantastic. There's no comparison whatsoever. No comparison. You know, you might have 200 to 300 people at a county match or a competition final, but this is absolutely superb.
It doesn't appear to us watching it that you show any nerves at all, that you show any particular emotion. I mean, is that right?
I'm a very nervous man, but I think I tend to, you know, follow the balls up, get relaxed, and I'm all right then, you know. When I start throwing the balls a bit funny, then you know I've got a bit of a wobble on. But generally speaking, I feel quite happy on there.
What about the game that you've just played? I mean, you got off to a very, very good start. I mean, that first end couldn't have been better, really, could it?
Played well at Peter. He put me under pressure early part of the game. But once I found my length, I felt pretty confident. But I knew I had got a match on. There was no question about that. I knew I got a game on my hands. But I'd seen him play a few times this week. And, you know, he's a good player.
The crowd were a little bit uncomplimentary once or twice over in that far corner over there, where we've noticed throughout the games that nobody's really played any good woods over there, have they, in that far corner?
It's a funny bit, really. You've got to be far enough, yeah. If you're too far, you know, you've got to be dead on the road. It doesn't look to be running all the way down there, but it isn't. Funny enough, but when you come the other direction from it, it runs. It's just a bit strange.
So you're not just in a Waterloo final, I mean, if that's not enough, but of course you're playing, perhaps the biggest name in Crown Green Bowls, in Brian Duncan?
I would say he's the bowler's #1, no question about it.
Yeah.
And I know he's a good player.
He's not listening, how are you going to tackle him?
I don't know, I'll have to have a think about that. I don't know, I'll probably take him at corners. He'll probably listen up there. I'll probably take him at corners, I don't know.
Yes.
It's done well for me playing longer lengths. During the competition. I don't see why it should change now.
So you expect him to play you on short marks, do you?
Well, I don't think he will. I don't think he will. He'll probably play a different game. I've played him twice before. Once I bet him, he probably won't remember that. I bet him at Huddersfield, but I played him this season. He just absolutely murdered me.
On both occasions?
No, I won on the first occasion.
Oh, so it's even then, really? I mean,
It's even, yes, but I was sort of on my own green in a way when I played him the first time. I think it was a couple of seasons ago.
Yeah.
But he's played me this time in Halifax, in a competition there, and he made me look second rate. He did, played well.
Will you be nervous beforehand, or do you think you'll just
No, I
settle
don't think
down
so.
and
I
get on
hope
with
not.
it?
I hope not.
Yeah.
I don't think so. I haven't been up to now.
Well, you're in the money anyway,
I'm
aren't
in
you?
the money
So-
anyway, yeah. I'm enjoying myself. I'm really enjoying myself.
What's the best part so far? What have you enjoyed most?
Winning.
Yes, well,
I don't know, just the atmosphere, it's superb.
yeah.
Superb.
And I suppose from everybody back in Yorkshire, it would be nice to see another Yorkshire name on that trophy, wouldn't it? There are not very many of them, as we said before.
Well, I'll be trying, you know. I'll be 21 up and have 2 bowls like he has, and I hope I can be successful.
Very well put. Well, we wish you the best of luck, Jeff.
Thank you.
And it's obviously a big day for you. Let's have a look now at the results of the semi-finals that we've seen this afternoon. The first one involved the man that we've just been talking about, the favourite, Brian Duncan. Brian Duncan beat Alan Ward, the local man from Poulton. The result of that game, 21-16. And in the match that we've just seen, a very delighted Jeff Sykes from Murfield in Yorkshire. Jeff Sykes, the victor in that one over Peter Fielding, the man from Rochdale. The same score, coincidentally, by 21-16. Well, we've heard some accents today, mostly northern accents, be they Lancashire, Yorkshire, Cheshire, perhaps Midlands accents. But there is one gentleman here who possesses a rather different accent to the sort that we've been used to, Mr. Dean Siegel. Is it Siegel or Sigel?
Sigel is right.
You prefer Sigel?
Yes.
Now, we will have already detected, sir, that you are from the United States, but you're involved with Crown Green Bowling. Now, tell us about that.
After 2 years in the United States Air Force in Burtonwood near Warrenton, I met my wife, Doreen, of some 41 years ago. And of course, you can see from there that we make trips back to the United Kingdom. And I have become interested in Crown Green Bowls. And being appointed to the Park Board, the City of Tulsa, we managed to have the city build a Crown Green bowl, and that's the way it happened, and we're just having a great time with it.
So there is one Crown Green in the whole of the United States?
One Crown Green. There is a few flat green on the west coast, California, along the coast, and I think back in the northeast. New York, Boston, and some of the New England countries, and then of course on up into the edge of Canada, some flat greens. But this is the only Crown Green.
So how many people are actually playing? How have you been able to spread the gospel?
At this time we have probably 50 to 60 people in several different clubs, the Scottish American and the different groups that have formed clubs. And of course we're incorporated and we're chartered as the United States Crown Green Bowling Association. Everything we do now is a first in our country. So we don't, we're just having a great time with the whole thing. We're getting it established, and when we once get the people on the green to play the game, they seem to really enjoy it. And like I said in an article I put out a while back, everybody doesn't care for Crown Green bowling. Only about 98% come back. And that's pretty good average. And
is there always a queue to get onto the green then, as you've got so many people with only one green?
well, no, there isn't. Of course, you have a lot of things that will interfere with one weekend or the next. But we try to run as many matches and tournaments and one thing or another as we can for the weekends. We still have a lot to do to get play on weekdays in the evening after work. But we still have some long-range plans for the green. We wish to build another green, a couple of tennis courts, and a little clubhouse for our group on the site there. It's built on a golf course, a city golf course. And we have some long-range plans. But we're still awfully young yet. And our green it doesn't have a lot of personality and atmosphere because it's like we built it, and we built it as we best knew how, with the help of people from the Padgate Bowling and Tennis Club, who my father-in-law, Stanley Taylor's a member of. Of course, he did get me interested in the game 10 or 12 years ago. But we're coming along great. We're really excited, and we hope that we can get into matches. Of course, not like the Waterloo, because nobody will ever do that. But
well, I'll tell you what, you've exported American football to us, which has become quite popular in this country. You don't think Crown Green bowling is going to become as popular in the States, do you?
Do I think it will? We're going to try it. We're going to give it a good hard push and work towards that. And it's a great game, fascinating game. It's a real challenge, a real skill, and we're going to do all we can to move it along.
I know that you aren't a champion even in the United States, but your wife is, isn't she? Although she's an English girl.
Yeah, my wife is. I'm not. Yes, she is. She is the United States women's single Crown Green bowling champion.
We may see you at the ladies' Waterloo one year, perhaps.
Well, I think it'd be great.
Mr. Siegel, many thanks. I hope you've enjoyed your visit to Blackpool and that you will enjoy the final which is to come.
I have,
Thanks
Richard.
a lot.
Thank you very much.
And there are plenty more people around the screen, obviously, who are enjoying the atmosphere. Just to remind you that the Waterloo can accommodate about 3,000 spectators nowadays since the new stands have been installed. And there they are, some away taking refreshments before the final gets underway. That most famous sight in Crown Green bowling there, a wide vista of the green and the new stand in the background. Everybody getting ready and anticipating a great final, and although perhaps it isn't quite as sunny as it has been, there are still some people perhaps who are feeling the afternoon heat, especially if they're in the sun. So Noel, here we are again. Now look, I have to remind you, and you won't mind me reminding you, that your prediction came true. You forecast the final.
Glory, hallelujah. Yeah, you tend to sweat a bit up in the box there, and you know, these last two games have been close at certain stages, especially the first one.
Can you see a good final in store?
I'm sure, yes. I mean, J Sykes from Yorkshire, he's got this far. He's not going to take it lying down. He's going to go out there and really fight hard.
But briefly, we'll talk about it a little bit later on, but you think Greenall will win it?
Yeah, I've got to stick by my original prediction.
Now then, we haven't talked about your own exploits, or perhaps lack of them,
Yeah,
in this year's Waterloo. How long is it since you won the Waterloo? It's 14 years.
14 years ago.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Right.
You were only just a toddler at the time. Yeah. Now, what happened this year?
Well, I got some new balls specifically for playing at the Waterloo. The Waterloo is known as a weak ball green, weak bias ball, and my old ones have been polished that many times. They've gone a little bit light in weight, so I got some new ones. Foolishly didn't try them out beforehand. I arrived late for practice on the first round date, went on the green, and halfway through the game, well, it was 19-9 down actually, and it suddenly dawned on me that one of them was weaker than the other. They were definitely odd. I went from 19-9 down, realising that there was one ball would go to the jack and the other wouldn't. I went virtually with using one ball, went from 19-9 down to 20-19 up. And unfortunately, my opponent of the day just produced one at the wrong time for me, and then got up the next end. So that first round exit for me. Yeah, that's probably why I'm sat here today.
And that's not just an excuse; it's a serious point.
It's a serious point.
That obviously you need to know that the woods are right, don't you?
That's right. It's my own fault. No, I mean obviously the balls weren't right in the first place, but it's my own fault. I should have tested them. In actual fact, I was playing at the Waterloo again that evening in a different competition. I went home after that game, got my old Waterloo balls, and then came back to Blackpool and won 2 games easily.
Yes, it's a mistake you won't make again.
Well, you live and learn at this game. You never ever stop learning.
Right, thanks. I'll be back. So you see there that it is really vital that woods are properly maintained. It's a specialised job carried out by just a few highly skilled experts. And as you'd expect, and as you can see now, it's quite an art. Good. When Bob Crawshaw isn't bowling himself, he spends his working life making sure that other bowlers have proper equipment at the Premier Bowls Company in Stockport. Bob, the first wood that we saw was a master wood that rolled perfectly into the jaws, but they aren't all like that necessarily, are they?
No, they aren't. The master bowl that we use is a 2's full bias as laid down by the British Crown Green Bowling Association. Bowls do come in here which are stronger than the standard bias. Some people want them stronger, but generally they want them to follow the master bowl.
And there is also a weaker bias as well.
There is. Well, it can be anything up to the 2's full. Generally people don't ask for that sort of biasing, you know, which weak bowls aren't generally used on the green these days. Although saying that, at the Waterloo, the majority of the people tend to favour a weaker bowl, saying that it suits the green.
Apart from the Waterloo itself, what about bowlers generally? Do they tend to go for the master wood?
They do, yes. They go for a standard 2's full bias. It makes the game slightly easier, knowing that you can more or less follow the standard jack.
And what about a bad wood, an awful one? You get those too, don't you?
We do. Woods come in here that are all shapes and sizes. You know, they could have flat soles. The surface of the bowl is flat. They can have different densities of timber actually in the bowl, which is called sapwood, and it can make them wobble down the green.
They even make a different sound as they go down the table when you're looking at them, don't they?
They do, yes. Some bowls have what's known as shakes in them, the cracks that go through the bowl, and banging them together you can find these out. It sounds differently when you bang them together.
Well, here's one that's seen better days. As you were saying, Bob, there's a difference in sound, obviously. Is there anything that can be done for that one?
Not really, no. That was originally a flat green bowl that was brought into here to be remodelled into a crown green bowl, but as I say, the shake in the side, that crack goes right the way through, and once we tried to remodel that, it would just break off, so it's a scrapper.
Now, apart from the woods, what about the jacks? These days, those have to be absolutely standard, don't they?
They do, yes. The British Crown Green Bowling Association have laid down a standard bias for the jacks, which is 2s full. All the jacks have to conform to this. They need to be tested every 7 years. Funnily enough, this October is the 7th year since it was introduced, so most of the jacks will need retesting this year.
So, in simple terms, a proper jack will follow the line of a master wood perfectly.
It will, yes. Given the same impetus along the surface, though, with the jack being less weight, it won't run quite so far as a wooden bowl.
Why is it, Bob, that woods actually need maintenance? Why did they go off? Because, I mean, they're made of very substantial stuff, aren't they?
They are, yes. Well, traditionally, wooden bowls, obviously, they're going to be susceptible to the weather, drying out, different climatic conditions, the paint chipping, obviously how many times you play with the bowl. There's a lot of factors that will make the bias change on a wooden bowl.
So how do you go about restoring the correct bias?
Well, they're stripped off initially, and then we test them to make sure they are the right bias. If they aren't, we correct them, and then we repolish them again.
How do you make that correction?
Well, it's the actual shape of the bowl. The bowl isn't symmetrical. It's all to do with the sole of the bowl. We have a bowl here which has got a line drawn down the middle. The bias side does protrude slightly more than the non-bias side. If a bowl is strong on the table, we alter it slightly on the non-bias side. If it's weak on the table, we alter it slightly on the bias side.
Do bowlers, by and large, pay enough attention, do you think, to the quality of their equipment?
I don't think so, no. I think the top competition players, if they win a lot of money with the bowls, you know, they're bound to look after them. They're like gold dust. But I think generally people can take better care of them. They strike and not let people know when they are striking, and will hit the boards and hit nails. You know, we get bowls coming down here and they're in terrible condition. You expect them to go out of the place looking like brand new.
No excuse for your bowls not being good, Nick, though, is there?
There isn't, no. I don't like playing people who we've done their bowls for them, though, because if I beat them, they'll blame the bowls then.
The intricacies there of maintaining bowls, and Bob Crawshaw, who was talking there, I think was actually knocked out of this year's Waterloo on Monday afternoon, unfortunately. Otherwise we might have seen him in the final stages. But although Bob Crawshaw was knocked out, not so Brian Duncan, because here he is from 1979 and back in the final again. There he is, and this is how Brian Duncan got there. In the 8th round he beat Bailey, in the quarter-final he beat John Bancroft, and in his semi-final, which we saw earlier today, he beat Alan Ward. And if anybody's any doubt as to the kind of form that Brian Duncan is in, well, let me tell you, it is impressive. This is what J Sykes has to look forward to. That's the kind of striking that Brian Duncan has proved himself capable of at vital moments throughout the competition so far this year. That was the 19th end of the semi-final against Ward, and now this, the 20th end. Brian Duncan following the wood down, although Ward is lying in at this stage. until Duncan's arrives, and the crowd appreciates that. And now the 21st end, the winning end, the one that took Brian Duncan through to the final, studying concentration. And this one will tell its own story. Delivered with the kind of precision that really deserved to earn Brian Duncan a place in this year's 1986 final of the Waterloo. Well, there we saw Noel Bryan in action, just the last three ends of the semi-final that he was involved in. It was pretty formidable stuff, wasn't it?
That's right, that's what the man's capable of. He turns that on week in, week out, and if he keeps going, then I can't see Jeff Sykes stopping him.
Do you think that Brian will produce that kind of consistency? Because there was a time today in one game where he seemed almost to be playing an exhibition and then went off just a little bit.
Yeah, well, even the greatest can have their off moments, but Brian has less off moments than anybody else. I think that really sums it all up.
Well, the man who's got to contend with it in this afternoon's final is Jeff Sykes from Murfield in Yorkshire. There he is, the other finalist. Jeff Sykes in the 8th round, he beat Copeland. In the quarter-final, he beat Alan Shacklady, and in the semi-final, which we saw just a short time ago, he beat Peter Fielding from Rochdale. So the scene's set now, very much so, for the 1986 Waterloo Handicap final. There's Jeff Sykes, the crowd there. Those who've been outside are now taking their seats in anticipation for what ought to be a really fine game. Let's catch up with the commentary on this final now with Harry Rigby.
Well, we're all set now for the great final of the Waterloo Handicap 1986. This is where it all ends up. After 2,048 runners, it boiled down to just 2 survivors. And one of them, the red-hot favourite you see there with the light blue shirt, is Brian Duncan, previous winner in 1979, and his opponent comes from Yorkshire in green, just acknowledging the cheers and 1 or 2 boos, but I don't think they're really serious because he's a well-liked competitor. Been around the circuit a while, and he's captained Yorkshire, played over 55 times for the county, and he's going to enjoy what could be the greatest day of his bowling life. Everybody settled down now, just waiting for the final now to kick off. Duncan's already gone really short price favourite here to win this. I noticed that whenever he gets down towards the final stages of almost any sweep, they seem to think it's automatic that this man can't be licked. Tossed up for the block, and Duncan wins the toss and sets the first mark in the final of the Waterloo Handicap. 5 each on the card, and the game is 21 up. The first man to reach 21 will be the Waterloo champion for 1986. Well, Duncan set off with a classy start. That's worth a bit of psychology as well towards Jeff Sykes, but they'll not put this fellow off. There's the reply.
Well, if that's an indication of what this final has in store for us, we certainly shan't be disappointed.
After the jack, but he's tight, wins nothing now, played up and through the end, but missed the lot. Jeff Sykes now stands 1 on, that's the right hand ball to the right of the jack. I've got a sneaky feeling Noel, he won't come for another here. might be happy.
I don't think
with
he'd dare
the
come the
jack.
same peg. If anything, he's got to change over, play finger peg, play underneath and onto Brian Duncan's nearest ball.
Well, he's give it a roll. Give it a roll. If he gets another one here, this will get a round of applause. Oh, he's died about 4 or 5 inches short, that's all, but it was a great ball.
That's a good try. A good try by Jeff Sykes. It was a bit brave, really, 2-0, wasn't it? I mean, it's
Well, I think there's no point in playing defensively now at this stage. Got to get on with it. Grab your chances with both hands. Try and win this final.
I just think he was trying to do a Duncan on Duncan there, because that's what Brian does regularly to other people, so why not come back and give it him?
Well, he's going straight back into the corners that Brian prefers, so he's not scared.
well, Sykes was a bit wayward with that lead, so it's given Duncan a clear opportunity.
Go a long way past the jack. A long way.
A lot of people are afraid to take Brian Duncan into the corners because of his mastery of such marks, but there's a theory that why not take him back? Maybe he's not quite so good when he's not leading the jack.
Oh, we're looking at a man now who's, I don't think that bothers him too much, no, because this lad's played corners regularly on some of the big greens all over the country, and you know, it's one of his strong points. Unless Duncan absolutely plasters him in the corners, I think Sykes will stick at it. Just gone by, but it's still in the frame. Duncan's got these to beat. Bit of a murmur from the crowd here. If Sykes walking after, I don't think he can kick it out, never mind walk it out, and that's won it.
So Brian Duncan comes straight back with just a single from that end, keeping it all square at 6 across.
Chance, bit of a chance, hell of a chance to count this ball. Got to stop a length. Gone in that. Low enough. Round about these balls. Brian's circling round here, likes it very much. Played at this end. This one's doing the trip, no doubt. It's the jack full on him, counter double. Listen for the bang, he's done it. Oh, he's run it to Duncan. Very, very unfortunate there. perfect ball, smack on the road, and he shunted it to Duncan's back ball. Just past. There's the engine driver with his cap on, waiting to take them all home. Certainly far enough. Far enough, Duncan waving this ball on to go out and leave a double.
Brian Duncan claims 2 from that end, and that perhaps rather ominously makes the score 9 to Duncan and 6 to Sykes.
Duncan back in this corner again. Remember in 1979 when he beat Alan Broadhurst in the final, it ended on a measure. Won 21-19, had a terrific match that day, and was red hot favourite then, and he's the big fab again in 1986. Got to run, just dawdling and then dies. Beautiful road, big yard short. Gets another.
Gets a good length up this way all the time, Harry. Very, very difficult balls to beat.
Just gone. They've just gone. It's 1 to Duncan. Here's Duncan back again into the country. Almost halfway there. 10-6 in front of J Sykes. Duncan stopped. He's enjoying this one. He stopped in the middle of the green. He wants to watch this one just taxi up alongside the jack. No anxiety, no worry about that. Just let it do its own. And J Sykes now got a 10-inch ball in the corners to beat. Pegs a little bit. He might wrap the jack. Clean. Wins it if he does it clean. Just gone through the gap.
Really suffering now, J Sykes. Very, very unlucky. Chance to make two here, Harry, if he can just tickle that jack through or play Burns' ball out.
It's to low. It's come down in the bottom side. I don't think it'll do enough. Already got his arm in the air, Duncan.
(11-6) to Brian Duncan, who is now looking quite relentless and quite merciless. Coming diagonally across the green, corner to corner.
Gets another. Jeff Sykes has reached up in these corners and played balls bang on the road, not been able to count them. Duncan's taking these long trips in the country and they're really paying off. 11-6 in front and stands a double here, and Sykes has played one with some sort of a chance. Duncan asking it to stop, and it's pulling up now. It's died short and left a double.
Well, apart from the finalists, they're the people with the biggest pecuniary interest in this final today, the bookmakers. People hoping to make a profit on Brian Duncan would have had to have backed him some time ago when the odds were something like favourable.
Marvellous lead. Absolutely superb. Not an inch off the road. Strokes them out. Coming in now like homing pigeons, these balls of Duncan's. And I think the Waterloo first prize is going to be at the end of the run. Run away. And again. Big applause. Brilliant ball there from Sykes. Trying to stop the rock. This. What a big danger, tapped the jack the wrong way. Oh, really tried a bit with that, Duncan. Good end, that. Absolutely marvellous. Gets another one there off a really good lead.
Well, that's really good news for Jeff Sykes after getting dragged all over the place by Brian Duncan. Playing really well there, taking a couple. Duncan 13, Sykes 8.
You know, what a marvellous last end that was, after Duncan had led a ball that had the crowd absolutely on the feet, and Jeff Sykes put two inside it before the end was completed. I thought that was a marvellous end.
Yeah, you'll not see many better than that, especially on a something like 50 yards across the top of the crown.
Got the Yorkshireman purring again now, Sykes. Not going to get this lad out quietly. Duncan's a little bit in the bottom. Just slip out now, round the back and gone. Rocked the end, but was on the wrong side. Really playing well now, these two. Duncan definitely with the advantage at the moment, 5 shots in front, but Sykes really pulling out all the stops. Here again, always a chance of joining the other one. Don't hit the jack clean. Could have made a mess of it there. Played at the ball, trying to get the jack cleaned. Can't do it. On to Sykes.
Jeff Sykes got away with a rather loose second ball there.
Coming along now, let it stop a length. He's played just on the top side. He's giving Duncan a little bit of room to work in. In the bottom. In the bottom, it won't come any higher. Really good ball there from Sykes. Duncan now got to salvage this end. Could be 2 down here. Right, Winnick played a dead ball. Played an absolute dead ball. Hooking ball from Duncan. Oh, brilliant. And that's...
Amongst the spectators, Stan Frith, who was the Waterloo champion in 1983. Frith from Weaverham in Cheshire.
Yeah, just to the right of him with the glasses, Mr. Frith Senior, who I think had a bit of something to do with Stan being here to win the Waterloo. Oh, isn't this man magic at balls? What a wonderful ball. Just pull one out at the 24-carat job at the other end and improves on it at the next lead. Unlucky. Unlucky. Oh, they're playing some balls here. Marvellous. Oh, pegged another. Two marvellous balls. Real dream stuff, this from Duncan. No way anybody's going to get this title off him this year playing this sort of stuff.
Well, it's got to be one of the closest playing finals I've ever seen. They're both playing excellent balls.
fired at it. It's fired. Not a mile away. Done the jack. Oh, unlucky. Is he unlucky? He gets one out of this. It's absolute marvel. Still having a look at them, Duncan. Sykes is favourite, but nobody's said anything yet. Jeff Sykes on his way over. That was a truly great ball. Makes it come all the way around, and Duncan's give him the end. Wasn't that absolutely marvellous there?
That was brilliant.
Duncan.
I mean, 2 balls like that are Brian Duncan's, and Jeff Sykes produces a miracle ball, takes the end.
Duncan played 2 balls there, good enough to win anything.
Jeff Sykes has introduced a touch of variety into the game now on a mark that hasn't been played in this final match so far.
You know a bit about that side,
also,
no, don't you? A little bit busy down there, isn't it? They look good balls at one stage, and then away they go.
That looked 6 inches off the jack, and it's finished a yard away. This will go the same way.
Oh, he's lodged. Might even be second, that ball. Duncan's got the benefit of that nudge. A little bit fortunate there. It's got to start pegging now. It's well up in the air. It's not going to come near the end. Gave it a bit too much work to do there, Jeff Sykes. Duncan on a lot better land, but certainly doing the trip. Doing the trip to pass the jack that counts. The jack again. Accuracy personified, this from Duncan. Smacking this jack regularly. And this lad's never far away. No, look, pegs hard, it can win. Oh, what a ball. Second. Perfect wood. Duncan's turned his peg round, coming the straight way on the bottom side. Don't want to be too far. Well, good and bad ball that. Left a little bit more room for Jeff Sykes, but still lies 2.
Jeff Sykes, he's not playing badly, Harry, but Brian's giving him absolutely no chance at all with balls like this.
Come the same peg, turned his ball round. Not a long way off the road, might be just on the bottom. He's putting his hand up because he's going to count the end. A brilliant ball. Absolutely wonderful. He had his hand up when he was halfway along the track there, Sykes. How's that for confidence?
Yeah, he's not dead yet, that's for sure. Point is, where does he go now? Where does he send the jack to try and pick up these points to make up the leeway?
Well, I've seen a lot of games of balls. I don't think I've seen anybody work as hard for 11 chalks as this man from Yorkshire. It must have been the slave labour act, because he's had to beat balls in a million to get in. Duncan's almost knocked this jack out of shape. Stood him on the jack, and yet it's hard to believe, but Jeff Sykes is only 5 chalks in arrears. Just a little bit overplayed. Have to run a long way. That still coming, but it's not near enough. Trying to get this to check. He'll whip down the hill. 2. Good ball, dead level. Now, is Duncan going to dig another one out? Stand one on the block. He looks tight to me. Tight. Can't win nothing. It's gone, this ball. Well, what a lovely double that, wasn't it, Richard, for Sykes. He sees Duncan again trying to play a dead length, just tightens it up a little bit, swings away, and this man's now back in the match.
Jeff Sykes really reaping the reward for the extremely hard work that he's put in so far in this final. It's 3 adrift of Brian Duncan now.
Just a yard past. Well, like our front room, nothing in it yet. One's a mile short, the other's a mile over. Sykes, I can just check that. Take a yard out of this ball, he have a really good wood. All shouting Wayne, it's a good one. Good ball this. Almost a dead length. Might be in the bottom side. Not won it. One to Sykes.
And Jeff Sykes, who has not for one moment in this final played anything like badly, is now taking his rewards.
Just missed the road and gone on the top side.
Just when he needed a really good lead, Harry.
Yeah, he's picked a funny piece of land up here, hasn't he? And Duncan's far enough to play a good one here. Just drop a length now, dead level, wins it. Be glad to see that, Brian Duncan. He's beginning to feel perhaps a little bit of pressure coming through now, because this man Sykes has given him a lot to do. Got to be stopping. Got to stop. Go a long way now. Chose a bad time there, Jeff Sykes, to play 2 absolute wides. One to the left and one to the right. Duncan's far enough. Well, he'd be very, very disappointed there. But Duncan, of course, delighted to get away with 2 balls, neither of which are within a yard of the jack. 3.5 foot and 1 4 foot in the bottom.
And the way Brian Duncan's playing, there's no way you can give him that amount of room.
Tight as he dare be. Tight as he dare be. Won't come any nearer the jack. Won it. Giving Duncan all sorts of trouble. This is smack on the road. Goes round the top. It's won it, this. It's won it. I think that stayed in. Stayed in for me. Very, very close, these.
Brian doesn't know who's in, and he's a very shrewd judge.
J Sykes certainly got to play the same ball. Can tap his own ball. He makes it for certain. Even if he's already in, and he's smack on the road again. Might be just a little bit tight. Just a bit tight and short. What a shame. Well, this is going to be tight, this measure. Tight and very important to J Sykes. Duncan wins the measure. He goes to 19. Just 2 off victory. For J Sykes, a real lifeline.
Well, it's the difference between Brian being almost nearing victory. He'd be 5 shots in front. If J Sykes is in, it's only 3 shots.
Thank you. Hey, never mind that. Try it up on that one, lads. It's very tight. Thank you.
I'm touching.
That ball.
Ooh, that was a real photo finish.
You can see the relief on Brian Duncan's face there as he turns to the crowd and signal 1.
Somebody blows. Somebody sneezes down in that bottom stand there. That jack might go off the green. Duncan now trying to play one roundabout. He's picked a very long and difficult mark. Something like about 65 yards from where they're playing. This man will attack. He'll attack it. The crowd already condemning this ball. He's not sent it far enough. Looking for a double, Duncan. This gives him the Waterloo title for the 2nd time. lies game.
Might look a long way off there, Harry, but anything going much past Brian's nearest ball is going to trickle away and could possibly go off the green.
Got to miss the short ball. It's weighed in here if he touches ball. It's weighed in. Oh, he might have saved one. He saved one. Big collision there, but it just gave Jeff Sykes a little reprieve.
A few Yorkshire Hearts nearly went then.
For a lead. This is on a beautiful track again and again. Don't forget earlier in the game, Noel, that Sykes was beating these. These are really good balls on this mark, but Sykes was in and he's nearly done it again. A bit of bad luck, he might bang Duncan's ball. He's banged the ball. Oh, unlucky.
Oh, can you believe that, Harry? I mean, look, he's played a perfect ball there. It's just so unlucky. What's he got to do?
Oh, that was a marvellous ball. It was just stopping. And he just taps Duncan's wood and makes it an almost unbeatable ball now. Smack in the road. I think if Sykes wins this end, he'll get the biggest cheer that they've heard at the Waterloo. Watch Duncan. Watch Duncan. Can he hit his own? Oh, he's won it! So he's done it! Oh, incredible! Terrific! Oh, look at the crowd. They're absolutely loving this. Well, everything came right out at the finish, didn't it, there? He was very, very unlucky not to count with the first ball, Jeff Sykes. Duncan again in there, punching for the victory. And Sykes comes up, plays far enough on the road and turns his own ball into a winner. Never played a decent ball down here, Jeff.
No, it seems to have slipped away from him. This mark here, mind you, Brian's ball here could be slightly on the low side. Starting to use the bias now, but goes through.
Well, if he pinches a couple of rough balls here, Sykes, you know, there's a slight change of attitude here because he'd only be 4 off victory himself.
He wants one right on the jack here, and then he puts Brian Duncan under pressure.
Can't be a daft ball, this. Only got to be a good ball for me. Roundabout.
No, he's got to play a dead ball here to...
He's played at the end, Duncan. Played at the end. Got some sort of a chance, this. If he can creep round that ball, I think it's a handshake job, this. Pushing it out.
It's even fell over the wrong way for Brian Duncan as well.
Crowd are waiting to cheer the champion, but this man from Yorkshire just won't listen. Still in there, very much concerned with the results.
Well, they've had a marvellous set final entertainment-wise, this large crowd.
Gone down in the bottom and out. Ooh, already it's beginning to boil up again here, Noel. You've seen these situations, haven't you, develop, and the crowd senses immediately that there might be a bit of an upset on here.
Well, he's got to just settle down, steady himself. Jeff Sykes gets another one in there.
Far enough. Far enough. Better ball than the other, this, if he comes down the hill a little bit. Two alike. Licks one, he licks them both, and gets the championship. Shake hands. Shake hands. It's all over. Weighed in. Duncan's pulled one out and won the Waterloo 1986 after a really marvellous game with the Yorkshireman Jeff Sykes. Terrific match. Sykes has worked really hard to keep in contention. And there's Barry Cottrell, the referee, arm round Jeff Sykes, but Duncan now waiting for the congratulations and the presentation. But after all, he has played like a really great champion. He's had to do. Otherwise, I think Sykes could well have pinched the match.
Well, he's shown today just why he is the Crown Green #1. Jeff Sykes there, still managing a smile, even though he must be bitterly disappointed.
Well, at the last end there, Jeff Sykes lays a couple of decent balls. You know, Duncan doesn't pull out one of these Duncan wonders to count the chalk for the championship. It's 18-20, would you believe?
That's right.
Oh, remarkable. Terrific match.
Yeah, it's got to go down in history as one of the great finals for my money, Harry.
I would say so, because some of the ends played have been really remarkable. Sykes has pulled some balls out here that have been unbelievable. Now we're all set for the presentation to be made. In the centre of the green as the champion Brian Duncan, and the presentation will be made by Jack Lee, who you see there with the envelope, and the Bulls manager of the Waterloo.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, I'm sure you have witnessed once again a memorable Waterloo final. They don't call Brian the King for nothing, do they? Commiserations to a gallant loser, but what a final, and I think you'll all remember it for many years. Enough from me now. I would like to call on the Mayor of Blackpool to present the semi-finalists and the runner-up trophies, and then we'll present the winner with the trophy and the £2,000 cheque. Mr. Mayor, please. Peter Fielding, please. First semi-finalist and a cheque for £500. Second semi-finalist, another cheque for £500, Alan Ward, and surely a popular lad. Now then, to a gallant loser, and a cheque for £1,000 and a trophy, Jeff Sykes. And now, ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to call on Mr. Peter Greenall, a director of Greenall Whitley, to present this wonderful trophy and a cheque for £2,000 to the King, Brian Duncan of Bamber Bridge.
Well, many congratulations, Brian. Here we are again. That was a marvellous final, marvellous performance by yourself, really.
It was. I think I've probably played very well, really, and halfway through the game I was playing well, and I came in this corner nearly 3 or 4 times with balls, 2 balls under a foot off and couldn't count one, and at the finish I thought I'm not going to get up, and I was happy to see that last ball win.
In many ways, it really went like clockwork for you, didn't it?
Well, it did really. I know Jeff probably fancied the corners, but I thought I'm going to have a go in the corner myself, and if I can string a few together, like, I'm quite happy. And as it happened, it turned out to be the right policy to play. And yet, I don't think in a final, just a word about Jeff, I don't think we've seen in a final a losing finalist who's played so well and so hard. And I mean, one stage had 11 chalks to show for it, and anybody else would have won the game. Yeah, well, it's what happens. I've just had a good day, like, and I've led well, and consequently, it's just got me home. Jeff?
We don't call him the King for nothing.
Commiserations.
No, he's a good player. A lot of respect for him.
But you played a marvellous part in a great final.
Well, I hope I did.
Yeah. When you came out to collect your trophy and your money as well, you looked delighted anyway.
Well, I was, yeah. I've had a great day. I mean, no nerves against Brian. I expected some nerves, but I didn't have. Played well. When you're following Duncan, it's hard.
You also played bravely as well, didn't you? Because very early on you played a marvellous bowl down here that was in, and you played a second Brian Duncan style everybody thought might knock it out.
Yeah. Well, I can't remember much about that actually. I know I was on at this corner, but I played another one, and it was just a bit short, I think, wasn't it? I came up for another, I think. And
there was one aberration, wasn't there, over there on the edge of the green here when things went rather wrong for you there?
Yeah, Brian in his usual way just propped on me. I think he was running out actually.
He was running out, absolutely was.
It's a fast bit, is that? Yes, another fast bit. But overall, I've really enjoyed it. I'd like to hold the cup, but number one.
You're looking forward to coming back again?
Certainly am, yes. Certainly am.
Brian, it's been a long time, and you've joined the ranks of the very few bowlers who've won the Waterloo twice. What about 3 times?
Well, it's very, very hard. I mean, I'll probably be on 3 next year, which is nearly impossible, really, but obviously we've got to have a go, and it'd be very nice to be the first one to do it 3 times.
You've heard yourself described here this evening, and before, of course, as the king of crown green bowling. Does that crown sit easily on the head, or are you a bit bothered about it?
No, I'm not bothered about it. I mean, it's just people have their own opinions, don't they? You're a king for a day, and tomorrow you might be novice, so, I mean, that's where it goes.
2 great finalists, J Sykes, thank you very much. Brian Duncan, the king, second-time winner at the Waterloo. Gentlemen, thank you.
Thank you.
And so that concludes our extended coverage of this year's Waterloo Championship. I do hope that you've enjoyed it from this famous green here in Blackpool. There'll be highlights of this evening's final tonight on BBC One at 11:45. But for now, from Blackpool, a very good evening to you.